everyone, welcome to Photoplay's YouTube channel and welcome to Tuesdays with Tina. I have a fun process video to share with you today. We're using a pretty fabulous card kit. This is called the Birthday Sparkle card kit. It creates 8 birthday cards. Everything is almost everything is included. You do need some basic supplies, but Photoplay has the papers and the layouts ready for you. There's card bases and there are also some sticker accents for you to make some fabulous birthday cards. So if you are in the need for birthday cards, I think the Birthday Sparkle card kit will fit the bill beautifully. I'm going to share with you everything that's in the kit, and then we're going to get started on creating these cards. First off, if you want to flip over your cover sheet, it tells you step by step on how to create the cards. So if you're not into the process video, you can completely skip that and then just follow along the step-by-step instructions, and it will tell you how to create the cards on the front. If you want to use the cards on the front for reference, it's very easy to do. All you would do is look up the greeting. For example, have a sweet birthday. If you flip it around, have a sweet birthday is card number 2. You have HB2U is the greeting on this card. You would just locate HBTU, and that would be card number 3. For the supplies, I'm going to go over the supplies that we're going to need in just a minute, but I do want to share with you what's in the kit. You get 8 A2 size card bases. These are pre-scored, so all you would do is fold them in half. And if you have a bone folder, you can use your bone folder to help close them, but it's not necessary because they are pre-scored. You get a 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and aren't the colors in here just fabulous? There's greetings, and then there's accent pieces, everything that you need to create the cards in the Birthday Sparkle card kit. Okay, and then you also get 6 12 by 12 sheets of pattern paper. Now it's important to note that each of these pattern papers are indexed at the very bottom. You have sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. With these 3 sheets, they're the same exact ones. Sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. So you actually get 3 extra sheets. Okay. The nice thing about this is you can use these for backup. Say you actually trim this too short and you need another one, you have a backup piece. So that's great. But if your trimming is perfect, you can actually go to your favorite craft store and pick up an extra sticker sheet. If you're going to pick up the card kit, pick up an extra sticker sheet, because you could double up on your cards, creating 16 cards by just adding an extra sticker sheet. So that makes it a great value. The reverse side does have some beautiful patterns. So if you don't want to make extra cards with them, you can use the pattern papers on the back for other projects. Each of these patterns are easy to trim, okay, and you would just follow along the edge here to cut them out. I'm going to put these off to the side, and I'm going to share with you the supplies that you're going to need. They're very basic. I have mine stacked here. I need for my card today. First off, you're going to need some adhesive. I'm using a tape runner, but if your glue is your preference, you can use glue. You're also going to need some twine. Today I'm using white, but the instructions call for teal and pink twine also. Teal, pink, and white. So if you have teal, pink, and white, you can break that out. When I create the cards today, I'll tell you which card has the teal and which card has the pink twine, okay? But I'm just using white for my projects today, since it's what I have on hand. You may need a ruler, so that's nice to have on hand. You need some scissors. You'll need some powder. This is my anti-static powder that I use for embossing. This is nice for removing the tackiness of stickers. Okay? If you have baby powder, you can use that also. You're going to need some foam adhesive. And I like foam adhesive, so I have some foam sheets for the larger areas and some medium and small foam squares, just in case. So I have all of these for my stickers and for my papers. And then you're also going to need a 2.5 inch circle punch or die, and then you're also going to need a 1.5 circle punch or die, okay? And if you don't have these, you can always use scissors to cut out the circles, but this is very handy to have. And last but not least, you're going to need a paper trimmer. I'm suggesting a paper trimmer that is at least 12 inches. That way you can slide in your 12 by 12 sheets pretty easy to trim them out. Okay, so that's all the supplies that you're going to need, pretty basic. I'm going to put these off to the side. And then what I like to do, by folding over each one of our card bases. Here's a little hint, okay? If you fold them all over at once, like this, and stack them, maybe 4 at a time, you can see how they're kind of bulky here. If you stack them like this, take your bone folder and go over 4 at once, it scores them all at the same time, and they don't open up, which is really nice. You can see here. It really does score them really nice. So do 4 at a time. I'll reinforce that score line, and then our card bases are ready to go. Now we're going to start with our first card project. Our first card project is Hope Your Day Is, and that would be this one. Now, I want to mention that this stops at is because you can switch out the sentiment. You could put I hope your birthday is very special, or you could put I hope your birthday is filled with love. Let me show you in the sticker sheet. So you have an option to add very special or filled with love for this. And I love that you have that option. Okay, so let's create card number 1 here. For card number 1, I'm going to share with you on the 12 by 12 sheets what you're going to need. You're going to need this piece. This is sheet number 1, and you're going to need this piece here. You're going to need this piece here, and then you're also going to need this banner. And then these are the 3 pieces that you're going to need for our first card. I'm going to take this and adhere this directly to the front of my card base. It's going to leave me a little bit of a border. And I'll use my tape runner for this. Next, I'll adhere this pattern paper right in the middle. Now we're going to bring in our stickers. In our sticker sheet, we're going to take these 3 flowers here. We're also going to take the flower centers. And then we're also going to take the greeting that says, I hope your birthday is very special. And then we're also going to take this piece here that has the scalloped bottom. Here. This is going to fit perfectly on the top of our sticker. We're going to go ahead and add that. And if you have to trim away what's overhanging, you can do that. And then I'm going to bring in my twine. And I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. And I'm going to tie a bow off to the left. So we have a bow tied off to the left. I'm going to take this, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use some of my foam to adhere it to the back side of my banner. We'll tack this down. And I'm going to bring in my glue. And I'm going to add some, if I use my foam, I like to use glue behind here. Okay, and then we're going to tack this down to the front of our card. This is going to go right in the center. For my first flower, this is the flower with the green. I'm going to add some foam to one side of the sticker because this is going to overhang and this portion of the sticker is going to hit my banner. So we add foam here. We're going to add a little glue. And then we can tack this down here. We have one more sticker here. This one I'm not going to add any foam tape to. I'm going to just do a little tucking with it, like so. Now I went ahead and put some foam behind my greeting, and we're going to add a little bit of glue behind here. I'm going to also bring in some gems from my stash just for a little added sparkle, and I want to add them to the center of our flowers. We added a few gems to those flower centers, and that finishes card number 1. These are the elements we need for card number 2 from our 12 by 12 sheets. We're going to need this piece here. We're going to need this strip here. We're going to need the macaroons here. And then that's all from sheet number 1. From sheet number 2, we're going to need this circle here. Okay, just these 4 items. We're going to start by adhering this to the front of our card base. After we have this adhered, we're going to take this piece. We're going to add some adhesive. I do want to mention that on our instruction sheet, it tells you exact measurements on how far away to adhere this piece, but I'm just eyeballing it. I'm going to take this strip. We're going to add this to the bottom. Okay, once we have this adhered, we have this circle. I'm going to use some foam, and we're going to pop this up and place it over here. And we're going to add this to the corner. Okay, now we need our stickers. For card number 2, have a sweet birthday is our greeting. And you know what? I'm going to actually use my ruler to adhere it. Okay, so we have a sweet birthday. We're going to take our macaroons. We'll take our stack of macaroons, our single macaroon. For my greeting, I'm going to use foam squares. We'll just place 2 here. And then this is where your anti-static powder comes in handy. If you want to go over that sticker, I haven't removed the release paper just yet. Okay, we can tap away the adhesive here. Okay, so it's not tacky. That way, since we only put 2 foam squares, these pieces aren't sticking when you mail it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my greeting. We're just going to remove the release paper, and we're going to tack this down here. And then with our macaroons, what I'm going to do is layer both of these together. Okay, we're just going to use we'll layer these 2 together like this, and then I like to flip it over, and we can add some foam tape behind here. And then I'm going to use a little glue over that foam. And then we can tack this to the front of our card here. Now I'm going to bring back my gems for a little extra sparkle, and we are going to add a few to the front of our card here. And that will finish card number 2, have a sweet birthday. For card number 3, you're going to need sheet number 1. We're going to be using this polka dot piece here and also this pink strip. So you'll want to cut these out. And this was an A2 panel, so it's completely going to cover the front of our card. We're going to go ahead and adhere this down. Then we have our pink strip of paper. We are going to add some adhesive behind here. This piece is going to go right down the middle of our polka dot pattern paper. Okay, I'm going to open up my card base, and this is where we're going to add some white twine. Now we're going to bring in our sticker sheet. In our sticker sheet, we have this beautiful bracket. We're going to take this. I'm going to put some foam behind it. You could use you can use foam squares if you'd like. And everything is nice and flush and even. This is going to go in the center here. So we have a little bit of dimension. And then we have HB to you. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to remove our stickers. We're also going to remove these 3 flowers. Okay. Now I like to mention, and you can completely skip this step, but what I'm going to do is flip over each one of my letters, and I'm going to put some thin foam strips behind here. I'm going to pop these up for a little bit of extra dimension. But of course you can completely skip this step. I'm going to add glue behind the foam portion. And we're going to add HB to you. And then I also put some small foam squares behind our florals. We're going to go ahead and add these. I'm going to adjust the bow. I'm going to bring back those gems, and I'm going to add a little sparkle to the center of my flowers. And that is my HB2U card number 3. Card number 4 is my happy birthday card. We're going to need these 4 pieces. Let me show you where to get them on our panels. This is sheet number 2, and you're going to need this piece here. There's 2 that are similar. This one here is sheet number 1. You're going to need the full piece here. It's a slightly darker and slightly bigger. So this is sheet number 2. You're going to need this one. You're also going to need this banner strip. Okay, you're going to need this banner down here. And then you're going to need this square that has the diagonal stripes on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All from sheet number 2. Okay, we're also going to need some stickers. I'm going to grab those. For this card, we're going to need the birthday balloons here. And we're also going to need the happy birthday. Those are down here. Now that we have everything we need for this card, we're going to go ahead and tack this down to the front of our card base. Okay, we're going to take our bunting or our banner strip, and we're going to tack this down to the left. And again, your instructions are going to tell you exact measurements, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. You'll tack this down. After we have this adhered, we're going to take this panel, and I'm going to pop this up with some foam. I put some foam behind this panel. We're going to adhere this. Not quite in the center, maybe a little bit up from the center on our card here. And then we have this strip. I'm going to use my scissors, and we're going to fishtail this bottom edge. This piece here, we're going to tack this down. Now this doesn't say, but what I'm going to do is take some of my white twine. I'm going to slide it underneath our balloon strings, and I'm going to tie a bow here. This is just something a little bit extra that I'm adding, not part of the instructions. But since we have our white twine, we might as well add a little texture to this card too. Just trim the tails. Okay, now we're going to add our greeting. I'm going to bring back some of my gems, and we're going to add a little sparkle to some of these balloons. Okay, so we have a little bit of sparkle, and that finishes off Happy Birthday card number 4. Moving along to card number 5, Happy Cake Day. We're using card kit sheet number 2, and we're going to use this birthday cake piece. We're also going to use this piece, this solid yellow here, and also this little sprinkle filled sheet here. So 1, 2, and 3 for this card. And then for stickers, we are going to take our cake. And the nice thing about this card is you can customize it. I'm going to be using Happy Cake Day, but there's 2 more options that you can use. Let's Eat Cake or I'm Just Here for the Cake, which I think are super cute. Okay, we're going to start our card by taking this, adhering it to the left, making sure it's evenly spaced around here. We'll just use our tape runner for this. After we have this adhered, next we're going to take this yellow piece of paper. We're going to adhere this to the front of my card also. This is going to overhang on the right side just slightly. Once we have this adhered, I do want to mention I did also need one more sticker. This is the scallop sticker that has the banners on it. We're going to need this one. Okay, I'm going to actually flip over this panel, add some adhesive behind it, and I'm going to tack down this sticker to the right side. Once we have this adhered, I'm going to add some more adhesive, and then I'm going to use some foam behind this piece for a little bit of dimension. And then you're just using a little bit of glue. We're going to adhere this to the front of our card. I went ahead and put foam behind this sticker, and we're going to add this to our pink paper. We'll just center it here. And then we have our greetings. It's Happy Cake Day. We're going to go ahead and add this to our card here. So that is our greeting. Now we're going to finish this card off with some more of that sparkle. We're going to use some gems on our cake. And another alternative that you can use for a little extra sparkle would be some glitter glue. But that finishes card 5. Card 6 is our cheers card, and these are the elements that we're going to need. You're going to need this from sheet number 2. You're going to need this piece here. You're also going to need this circle here. You're going to break out your 2.5 punch here and cut that out, and then you're also going to need to cut out the cheers. Okay, if you have a 1.5 inch punch, you can use that. And then also from this sheet, you're going to need this piece here. You're not going to want to trim this into 3 different pieces. Just trim this rectangle out here. So it has the stripes, the yellow, and then the fruity cocktails there. Okay, that's the elements we're going to use for this card. For the stickers, I'm going to be using, we're going to use this little flower, and then we're going to use these cocktails. For card 6, we're going to take this panel, we're going to adhere this directly to the front of our card base. What's lovely is the postage edge is already attached. So we just place this in the middle. It's going to leave us a white border. After we have this adhered, I'm going to bring in my white twine. This, I want to mention, is if you have teal twine, this is a card that you would use teal twine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around 3 times. And then we're going to tie a bow just above the postage edge here. We're going to use this pattern paper, and I did put foam tape behind it. Now the foam tape looks a little bit funny. I left a gap because that's where the twine is going to be. Of course, if you were to use some thinner twine, you could probably get away with not doing that. But I have a little wiggle room using glue so I can center it on that postage edge. We're going to take this circle. I'm going to add adhesive behind here. We're going to tack this down so it's overhanging. Okay, we're going to take our drinks. I went ahead and put foam behind here. We're going to add a little glue. And I also removed the tackiness with my powder. And then we're going to add this to this circle here. And I also put a foam square behind our flower. I'm just going to remove the release paper and we're going to add this. And then we have our cheers. We are going to take this and we're going to add this. Okay, lastly, I'm going to bring in a gem, and we're just going to add one gem to the flower center. And that will finish card number 6. For card number 7, we're going to need these elements from our pattern papers. This is sheet number 3, and you're going to need this piece here. You're also going to need this piece here, and then this piece here. So 1, 2, and 3 for card number 7. You're also going to need these 2 banners. So we're going to go ahead and find our stickers that we need. Card number 7, we're going to need these florals. I'm going to tack them to my ruler so it's easier to grab. And then you're also going to need a greeting. The nice thing is you can pick out your greeting for this card as well. You have happy birthday to you, it's your special day, and let's celebrate you. Let's use let's celebrate you. And then we're also going to need our tag. This is the pink tag that's in here. You're going to punch out that hole there. Let's start by adhering this to the center of our card base. Next, we're going to take our yellow paper. We're going to tack this down. Okay, I have our streamer paper. I went ahead and put foam behind it. We're going to use glue. And we're going to tack this down. Now, before this glue dries, we're going to go ahead and take our banner here. I'm going to add adhesive. And we'll do a little tucking with this. And then for this one, I'm going to add some foam. I'll add a foam square for some dimension. And we'll tuck this as well. So everything is nice and even and we have a little bit of dimension. Okay, we have our tag. I put foam behind here. We're going to bring in our twine. I'm going to thread some white twine through here. But this is the card where you would use your pink twine. If you have a dark pink twine, you can use that. We're going to add our tag to our streamer pattern paper. And we're going to add it a little bit more towards the right. And you can do a little tucking with this. I like bows, so I'm going to tie a bow with this tag. But of course you don't have to. You can let your string hang down. I popped up my flowers here, and then we have our greeting. I'm going to add my flowers to my tag, and then we're going to add our greeting. This says, let's celebrate you. And you know what, we're going to need one more sticker from our sticker sheet. Let's bring back our sticker sheet. We have this striped scalloped edge. This goes at the very top. Let's add this. And of course we're going to add a few gems to these flower centers. And that will finish off card number 7, Let's Celebrate You. For my final card number 8, Hip Hip Hooray, we're going to be using these elements in our 12 by 12 sheet. This is sheet number 3. We're going to be using this here. We're going to be using this piece. We're also going to be using this striped piece here. And also this, we're going to trim out this white rectangle. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then from our sticker sheet, we're going to need this blue scalloped edge. And then we're also going to be using all of the Hip Hip Hooray here. Now I'm going to show you a kind of a cheating way to get these perfectly spaced to put on our panel here. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to trim out the Hip Hip Hooray. Next, what I'm going to do is remove each of the letters, and then I'm going to pop them up with a foam square, and then I'll remove the tackiness with my anti-static powder. I'm going to do that to all of my letters here. So all of my circles, all of my Hip Hip Hooray have foam adhesive behind it. Now I'm going to use this negative piece. I'm going to remove it from the release paper, and then using my powder, I'm going to take away all the tackiness from here. So the tackiness is not there no more, okay? Okay, what we're going to do is use this as a guide. First, let's take this strip and put it at the very top. I'm just going to use my tape runner for this. We'll tack this down at the very top. Okay, so we have the stripes at the very top. Now I'm going to take this piece that we put powder behind and use this as a guide. I'm going to center it here, and then I'm going to take my letters and I'm going to add them in their home on this piece. And we'll finish with our Y. Okay, so basically we put them back, but we put them back on our white piece of cardstock. Now all you do is take that negative and just pull it through all of those stickers that you had adhered, and everything is perfectly spaced on your panel. And you're good to go. A little tidbit on how to add your Hip Hip Hooray. Pretty easy, huh? Okay, we're going to need to add some twine to the top of this. If you have the teal twine, this is where you would bring it in, but I'm just going to, again, use my white. I'm going to wrap it around twice and tie a bow off to the left. So we have our greeting done. Now all we have to do is add our pattern paper to our card base. We'll start with our red piece. We're going to tack this down to the front of our card. This is going to cover our card base completely. We're going to take our printed pattern paper and layer it right over the red. I'm going to flip this piece over. I'm going to add some adhesive to one side, and then we're going to tack down this blue scallop strip. So we have foam behind our Hip Hip Hooray. I'm going to center this on our card base. And that is our final card that we made today. So these are all 8 cards that we made today with the lovely Photoplay Paper Birthday Sparkle card kit. These card kits are pretty awesome. Everything is included, like I said, with the exception of a few basic supplies. And I love the dimension and the texture that these have. And if you need birthday cards, I think this is a fabulous kit for that. I'll be creating 2 more cards with the card kit leftovers. So join me next Tuesday for that video, and I will see you real soon. Bye-bye.